Maybe Ali can lead the conversation. Ali, you can ask
Okay.
questions. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. The first question is, who is the oldest person you know? What do you know about their life?
I live with my mother. She's 91 years old.
91. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Where are you living, my friend, John?
I'm in Australia, in Melbourne, Australia.
Hmm.
And you?
How is the population in your country generally? Are there any elderly people in Australia?
We're an aging population. People are too healthy, so people just get older and older. But it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
I want to get older.
Yeah, looks so younger, and maybe other friends can share their ideas.
Can I talk about question number 3, if you don't
Number
mind?
3.
About
Yeah, why not?
About age, if it is important in my culture, in my country. What I noticed, when you are getting older, it is more difficult to find a job sometimes, because very often when there is a vacancy, some vacant job position, the companies want to get workers who are young and with great experience, but at the same time young, and they even write it in the advertisement that we need a worker up to 27 years old. And I saw it many times, and I think that it's very bad, and that is why I am scary to get older and older, because I feel that it will be not so easy to find a job. But at the same time, I know that if you are a good professional worker in your sphere, then I think it will not be a problem. But at the same time, in some spheres, age is very important. And for example, for dancers, for ballet dancers, you know, there are some spheres when if you are 30 years or 40 years, then it is at the end of your career. Maybe for some football players, first they are football players and they can only train other players. That is why in my country, I noticed that age is very important, and in some spheres, when you are getting old, it's not very good for your career.
Exactly. I agree 100%.
So guys, if you really want to join us, there's a link below the video. There's a form, okay? Fill it out. There's a test, you know, English placement test. Fill it out, answer the questions, okay? And then I will send you an email. You will be notified by an email.
100%. I broke both my legs at work when I was 30 years old, and I went back to university, did 10 years at university, got lots of lovely qualifications. And when the first job I went for, the guy said to me, he said, if I gave you a job, I'd get the sack. He said, I want someone who's 20 years old with your qualifications, and then they'll stay with me for 40 years. If I employ you, you'll have only 20 years ahead of you. It's not worth it. It's very simple. So age is the enemy when you're looking for a job.
Yeah, yeah. So I think it is in many countries. So.
Well, I think it's just so it's defined by finances, isn't it? The money. They have a young person come in, they get many years out of them. An older person, they teach them the ropes and all about the job, and they only have them for a few years. It's just not the same. If I don't blame them. If I was an employer, I would think the same thing.
Yeah, but sometimes it depends on the sector. Some companies are looking for young people, young employers. Some companies are looking for experienced people with age. Sometimes it doesn't matter how old you are, and they are looking for a good and experienced people?
Yeah, I had experience. I was originally a motor mechanic. I used to race cars, build racing cars, do that sort of thing. And after I broke my legs, I did mechanical engineering.
Mhm.
So I got qualified as a mechanical engineer, but yeah, they weren't interested. And I had experience, I thought.
There is a very nice question, number 14. Very interesting question. What is the best age for a person to get married, to settle down and to get married?
Very
Very interesting question, and maybe very personal for everybody. I think that the best age, it is not connected to the age, as for me, but it is connected when you feel that you fell in love and you realize that you can connect your life with this person forever, and then you understand that it's the time to get married, and it can happen in any age, in 30, in 25, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, in my opinion, there is no specific age to settle down or get married. It is only depending on where you are and how your culture is.
I think the most important thing is how you feel about your partner. The person you're marrying, if you love her enough, you're going to make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had 3 kids. I've got 15 grandkids. I was happy.
What do you think about that, Alexandra? You didn't talk so much.
I can listen too.
How
I
is
have
the
a complete
situation in
different
your
mind.
country?
My situation depends on the person. But
Mhm.
okay, I told you a long time before, age is a number. It's a question of mentality. And so it depends in my mind and in my experience if you are hired or not. When you are young and you are not in a mentality to include yourself in a team, and in most of the economy sectors, you have to work in a team, and you are not able to do that. So it is easy to say you have not the experience. So you fire the person. In fact, you say the experience is the point. For older people, or when we are get older, they say sometimes we are too old, but maybe the person is not compatible with the team because he think about to be in the best experience. I know everything, and so it makes no sense the person to have in a team.
We have a saying here. We say that youth is wasted on the young.
I mean, it gives a lot of reason. It's a question of interpretation. So I would not say in general, it depends something on our age. I would say in the most of the time, it's a question of mentality. So it's my experience.
I wish I had my experience now. When I was 20 years old, I think I'd live a very good life. You learn a lot as the years pass by.
But you wouldn't have a development. When you have the knowledge in your young age, you have no development because we make not fails. You get experience and you have to do it on the way, not on the beginning. It makes no sense.
I wasn't talking about knowledge. I was talking about the experience. If I had the experience when I was young.
Remember, when you have the experience, all you did or had now as you're 20, which development will you have in the age when you come now? It doesn't work, sorry.
Maybe you don't understand what I'm saying.
Teacher, do you have any idea?
Can you clarify, sir?
I was saying that I would love to have the experience when I was younger, so I would know what to expect as I went through life. Now I've got the experience. Experience is a very wonderful thing, but youth is something you can't live with. It is the ultimate, isn't it? In my opinion.
Well, talking about ages, it has been tough for me because now I'm 22 years old and I'm getting in a adult stage, and it is I don't know, it has been so tough to get my experience at the works, at the jobs, at the interview jobs. I think it is hard to getting old, but for me it is very hard because it is difficult to getting old or by yourself. I think everybody needs to that friends should advise you should, oh, you have to do it this way or you should do it this way, because in my first interview with job, it was so weird. I didn't know what I did. I didn't know why I'm not in that job. When we're talking about ages, I think every stage, a teenager's child or an adult, when we change this, when we pass through these ages, it is hard to first accept what we live in, to realize as so, wow, now I am an adult man. Wow, now I have this experience because I passed through that phase or passed through that moment. Okay, and I learned it with my mistakes. I learned it with my, but I would like had someone with me to help me, like a friend or a family or a mother, to give us some advice to say, oh, this, do this and do that. When we're talking about that questions of marriage, I think there is not a specific age, but in my culture here in Brazil, I think it's not so usual someone get married nowadays. It was in the past, but now it is not so usual. Oh my God, my my battery is dying. My PC is dying. My notebook. So that's it. I'm gonna take my charger. Please excuse.
My view has always been that we should try to improve our life for now. Now is the only time we have. There's no future, no past. If we can do better for now, we'll keep doing better all the time.
I have a question, teacher.
Okay, ask your question.
For about age. Would you prefer older partner or younger partner, generally? I'm asking all of you. Guys.
Ladies first.
Ladies first, exactly.
What kind of partner? I don't understand, teacher.
I
Wife or
didn't get
husband,
it. His
girlfriend,
question.
boyfriend.
I thought I heard someone say ladies first, and I'm waiting for a lady to speak.
Okay, if you don't.
Absolutely, absolutely.
For me, it is no question of the age. It doesn't matter. You can met somebody who is right in the older age, and you can met someone who is 10 or 15 years younger as you, and you think, wow, that's the best person for me. I love them, his mentality. So has no age. So Ali, for you.
In my opinion, it doesn't matter the age. How can I explain? If two people are spending good time, they can understand each other easily and clearly. If they love each other, it doesn't matter for me about age. Who is younger and who is older, it doesn't matter. But in Turkey, it can cause some problems because of our culture. In Turkey, most of people think that the woman can be younger than man.
Must be.
Must be,
Not
yeah.
must, yeah,
Woman,
but generally, most of Turkish people think this idea and support this idea because they think that it will have some problem after a while. They are getting older, or how can I explain? I don't know, but you understand what I mean.
Of course, getting older, like aging.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, in our country, it is more widespread that a woman is younger than a man. It is also as in Turkey. But sometimes it happens that a woman can be older than a man, And then, you know, such a couple gets too much attention, and everybody is wondering about their life. And, you know, but it is very rare cases, but sometimes it happens.
Okay. Cool, cool.
Very rarely here too.
So there is a kind of commonality among people, among nations, actually, I would say,
Yeah.
right? Like as a, not as a different nation, different race, but I would say as a human being, right? We have some common mindsets. It makes sense. Makes sense.